Hi everyone, thanks for joining me again. I'm Zoe and I'm owner of Beautiful Healthy Home, and this is another Beautiful Healthy Home chat on Ethical Consumer Week. And today I'm talking to Peter Courtney-Fitch. Hi Peter.
Hello.
Hello, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Peter is an award-winning editor. He's also a business developer and a business mentor and a published writer. Peter, tell us more about yourself before we dive into the questions.
Well, I think you said it all really. Yeah, I've been a writer, business developer. I started out as a journalist, gosh, when I was a very young boy. First thing written was published at age 14. My father was a journalist, and it was easy for me to potentially follow that line. Always liked the written word. I've liked music, so I put those together, wrote about music, which got me into university. I edited Base magazine, which I've devised, which basically get to the base facts about drugs and what's legal, what's not legal, what's good, what's bad. Won
Mhm.
an award, won Best Student Magazine of the Year. I was editor of that in the Postgraduate Training Council, which is fantastic.
Mm.
And then I kind of moved into music journalism. I then felt I like business, so I slipped out of that and went into more PR marketing, primarily like the natural health space as well as fitness and nutrition, all
Mhm.
stuff I love, as well as music at some point. But really, what's happened as I've got older, it's just kind of how can I give back? What is it that I've learned along the way that I feel is of value that I can bring to businesses, especially entrepreneurs that are starting out?
Yeah.
Um, there's always a lot of things to kind of think about when you're in the business. You're not aware of what needs to do on the business, so you're day to day looking, this is what I've got to do, but sometimes you've got to take a step back. So what I do is be that person that steps back for that entrepreneur, looks at what they're doing, looks at ways I can add value, different things they may not have thought about,
Yeah.
and basically support them. And
Yeah.
I think that's really a good value proposition I bring.
Yeah, interesting. What an interesting history. And I guess you're pulling from all those different parts of your past and experience, and bringing to that to the fore now. So just for the viewer, Peter and I met only a couple of months ago at a local eco market that I was selling my wares at, and we just gelled, we was chatting, and yeah, I guess Peter, you kind of got my ethical kind of values and stuff from the conversation and the products I was selling. But I guess as a business mentor, and this is the kind of specific thing we'll be focusing on with you today, it must be nice that you can pick and choose who you want to work with. And do you have ethical considerations before you kind of leap into a conversation with someone, or yeah, before you decide to become their business mentor?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've got to understand who you are. And I spent a lot of time locked down and even before then, and I'm always questioning who am I? What do I bring? And a lot of self-development that I've done in my personal life and my professional life has allowed me to think, okay, these are the skill sets that I know entrepreneurs need. But before I do that, you've only got enough hours in a day, you've only enough energy to give to people. You have to align with your ethics, your values, your vision, and find people that actually align with that. And it's not like you can just go on Google, you need to meet the person. So you have to get
Yeah.
yourself out there, see where they are, see what they're doing, look what they've got,
Mm,
and see if there's a synergy there. And it should be quite quick. It's
mm,
quite a feeling based process rather than a thought based process. I'm
yeah.
into ethical clothing. I'm into natural health. We even did on the magazine a photo shoot with a harishi, so it's like hemp clothing. So I knew where that came from. So it's something that's in me. So it makes sense to be in this place where I would meet you. So
Yeah.
when I saw what you were doing, we got on. It was light, it wasn't hard work, it's easy flowing. And I think more you said you felt something, I felt something. I thought, well, yeah, let's have a look at it. And
Yeah.
that's how good business works, by actually meeting a person. Do they feel okay? Do they align with your ethics, your values? You can see what they've got. And I think, yeah, I've worked with those kind of things before and online. So it made sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I definitely felt that for the conversation that we had. And I think I said that in the first kind of proper business meeting that we had. Like I really liked your warmth, your approach, and your kind of honesty and openness. And I think that for me is really important when I talk to new potential like yeah, business partners or yeah, other businesses that I'm going to bring on as brands. So yeah, no, that's really interesting. I guess I was going to ask you about then in terms of business mentoring, if you find a business is struggling, but they've got obviously very key values and ethics, but they are struggling to maintain this. because we are talking about the cost of living crisis at the moment within the Ethical Consumer magazine, and how it's affecting people. It's affecting everyone, but in different varying stages. And but some businesses, are really struggling, what with the overheads or costs of production or materials. So yeah, what's your advice for businesses, say?
Your advice is to be patient and realize, follow nature. Trees will grow regardless. You plant a seed, some will flourish. And it's something I need to learn. I'm not very patient. I want results now. We live in this world where we feel we need results straight away.
Yeah.
But what you need to consolidate in yourself is, what's important for me now? Can I hold back? Can I use this time where I'm not going to be putting too much out there in terms of, is it going to cost me money? Can I
Hmm.
do some idea development? Stuff
Hmm.
that I haven't had a chance to do, but doesn't cost me any money, takes a bit of time, but means when I do, things are a bit out there and there's no such a crisis, and there's a bit more money going about, there's a bit more stability with the economy, with with the government, all the rest of it. Then you've got these things already to go. So not
Yeah.
only can you come back stronger, you can come back quicker
Yeah.
because you've got other things you were looking to develop, didn't have the time to do it. So in
Mm.
effect, you can learn from in a lockdown. You
Yeah.
kind of have that lockdown mentality, not like you're going to stop,
Yeah.
just kind of, you know, just look after your core stuff that's bringing in the big bucks, or the core idea that you feel is your leader.
Mm.
Just follow on that path rather than doing too many things. Just focus on a couple of things that you do well. You know that you've got the passion for, that you feel is going to bring back the best bang for your buck,
Mm.
rather than doing too many things.
Yeah, it's interesting you said that about COVID, because that's exactly what came in my head. I was thinking during the COVID, months and years, we did sit at home and think, right, productively, what can we do that, okay, isn't necessarily going to make money, but what can we do, think creatively? And I think you're right, it's like not losing that opportunity, because now that we're back to the rat race and everything's working and running again, it's remembering how important actually that time was, just to take the space and sit down and think, right, okay, how can I move forward strategically? So yeah, no, that's really good advice. So bring it to the consumer then. Obviously, it's Consumer Ethical Consumer Week. Do you have any tips, or what would you say to the consumer in terms of when they're purchasing?
Um, I think in terms of living as well, and taking it back to you as a person, to live intentionally.
Yeah.
If you're going to go out, you're going to be, especially I've got children, you've got children, they want this and there's a crying and it's this and it's that and you're a bad person, or if they don't get this. But it's really taking the time to talk to yourself and your inner child before you even talk to the other children,
Yeah.
your actual
Yeah.
children, and say, do I actually need this? Can I live without this? Why do I want this?
Yeah.
But more importantly, where is it come from? Who's behind this product? What are
Mm-hmm.
their ethics? Does it align with what I believe? And if you're a conscious parent, I hope you are, and I am, I'm sure you are, because of what you do, and anyone watching this,
Mm.
just have some critical thinking.
Yeah.
Just think consciously about, do I need this? Why do I need this? If I need this, what does it serve? It doesn't have to be some big thing, but
Mm-hmm.
it just means you live intentionally, you think intentionally. This is going to do this because it gets that. I get this drink because I do sports, so I need a sport drink. I'm going to sweat. Okay, I need isotonic, or I need something to get sugars, salts back into my body.
Yeah.
That's been aware of why you're doing things and why you'll be living intentionally with that thought of
Mm.
buying that. So if you're see something on Amazon or anywhere else, actually look at the actual website of that business.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I like calling people. So if I found a business, even if it's online, I can't call them, I wouldn't buy from them,
Mm.
because I want to speak to that person and get a feel for that business from that person on the phone,
Mm.
or I want to see their smiling faces on their About Us page. I
Mm-hmm.
always go to the About Us page on every website because
Yeah.
I want to know what they're about.
I
So
really, yeah.
yeah, so that's the way I would do about buying things as well, having that, that ethic about what you're buying as a consumer. What am I consuming, and why am I consuming, and what
Yeah.
does that then lead to?
Absolutely. I love what you said about living intentionally. I
Yeah.
think, like for me, it's been such a change over the years. I've had to kind of retrain myself and how I think, because I worked in big fashion retailers, several decades ago. It was a different mentality back then, but I had quite strong ethics internally, and I wanted to move out of that and into other kind of realms. But the way I chose to buy was literally is that aesthetically beautiful? Does it look good on me? Click or buy. In those days, was shop it in the retail. And now it's different. It's like, oh yeah, I am thinking about like the supply chain, the people at the other end of the supply chain. Is it organic? Is it fair trade? Yeah, the impact on the environment. So but there are so many questions, and I think for a consumer it can be overwhelming. So I mean, my advice is just take it one product at a time or one step at a time. There's been a lot about single-use plastic and moving away from that, so just take one product. Just, yeah, like, I don't know, shower gels, and move to soap bars, and then that's like a win. And then you can think about that. Yeah, just
No,
live
sorry about that. Carry on.
intentionally. No, 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 it's fine. I just love that live intentionally thing
Yeah.
you mentioned.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because then you've actually thought about it. You're not just being, something shiny's come up on the screen because we
Yeah.
must have it. We want to consume like that. Not everything happens like that. Some things that are really worth having take time. Look
Mhm.
at love, look at relationships, look at a business, look at children. You're
Mhm.
not going to have a baby and then be an adult. It's time. And you
Yeah,
love that progression to see them grow and fly and off they go. So it's the same. We just take a breath.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
take a step back. Just have a thought. Think for 10 seconds. Close your eyes. If I leave this, it's a habit. I click this, it's going to lead to this. Do I want that? Do I want to show that to my children? Do I
Mm,
want that for the world? Now,
yeah.
how can I improve my choices?
Mm,
And does that just mean writing it down and sticking to the list?
mm,
Or having your values? It doesn't need to be a long kind of thing. I know it can get overwhelming, but just say, think about where's the product come from? Do I like the producers? Is this product good? And you
mhm.
might use just those three criteria and just look on Trustpilot or anything else that they're using or leveraging for relationship. Because realistically, you're only going to consume ethically if
Mm,
you trust the process.
absolutely.
If it says one for the planet, then the process. If it's a B Corp, then
Mm,
understand that the reason why. In a B corporation,
mhm,
that process is long and it's full on, it's arduous. So you can trust that.
mhm,
So
mm.
things like that, look at those kind of things as well when you consume and look for those little stamps of approval that you can recognize. And if you don't know it, look it up.
Yeah, and I like the fact you just, like you say, just pick one or two key values. It doesn't have to be a whole long list because it is overwhelming. And
Yeah.
I think that's it. It's just sticking with a couple, and then over time they grow naturally. Anyway, I find like that. Yeah, the original kind of values I've added to over the years, and now I'm a little bit more particular. I've always been quite particular with like organic meat, but now I'm more specific about other things. So yeah, it's just like you say, it's a growing process. But yeah, it's been really, really interesting talking to you, Peter. Thank you so much for your time today.
Was there anything else you wanted to add or
Well, though, did
yeah,
you have anything else you wanted to add?
yeah, I just wanted to understand, Joe, just say to people, you can add this in if you wish. If you've got ethics, actually understand what they are. You can be an ethical consumer in this week, but it's really about your ethics in life and how you carry it up from day to day. It's not about the week or the day, it's about the month, it's about the year, it's about what you want to give back and what
Yeah.
you want to share with your friends, family, those you love, your children. They will see you by your ethics, they'll understand you by what you do. And if you do have ethics, you're close to what they are and they are for good,
Mm-hmm.
then be consistent.
Mm,
Walk the talk, don't just talk and
mm-hmm.
do nothing. That does nothing.
Yeah.
Take action, live by your ethics, and consume
Mm,
with intention.
absolutely. That's great. Well, that's a good note to finish on. Live with intention.
Cheers. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thanks for
Thanks
your
so much
time.
for your time, Peter. And
No
thanks
worries.
everyone for watching for Ethical Consumer Week. Thank you.
Cheers.
Take care. Bye.
Cheers.